With music discourse happening almost exclusively on the internet, unreleased music is booming in popularity. No matter who your favorite artist is, chances are leaks of their tracks are available somewhere online. I'm a huge leak enthusiast, and after looking to the related guides available on the internet, I found out that they're mostly full of pointless information that doesn't really concern you and often miss key little details that either make or break the leak listening experience. Today I will show you the best places to get leaks and how to upload them to your streaming platform of choice. Firstly, a quick disclaimer I have to make is that this guide is specifically for people who are paying for Spotify, Apple Music or YouTube Music. For non-paying users, the methods are quite different and the video will get too long if I talk about them as well. So for you, I will make a different video. With that said, let's get started. To begin, let's discuss how you get leaks without breaking any laws or rules. The best way is through artist trackers. These are fan-curated spreadsheets that track every publicly available song of said artist. There, each song is properly listed in its album and has additional info for you to understand the context behind it. Other than trackers, you can get your unreleased music to different social media communities. One other place where I used to get my leaks is this Telegram group right here called The Collective. It is run by one guy on TikTok and it's basically full of a lot of fans of unreleased music who just share everything that they have and all the knowledge they have about anything that's going on. So as you can see right here, they have a whole bunch of different groups related to whatever you need, even Nine Vicious or Che. What you basically want to do in such a group is just click Ctrl F for just search. For example, let's say if I wanted leaks from Ken Carson's experiment era, I'm just going to type in experiment. And here you see everybody that has posted related to the experiment. And maybe let's see if I want to click this right here. It will bring me to this message and then I can click on more messages. As you can see right here, a whole bunch of leaks. Now the problem with such a community is that everybody just posts what they know. And a lot of people do not have the categorized leaks that are available in trackers, and they have some false knowledge about what era has which songs, or they have some not well tagged songs and you just relying on somebody else to do the work for you, which is not usually a good idea. However, there is a different alternative and it is this Discord right here. It's called the MP3 Dealers Community. I'm gonna leave the link for it in the description. Basically, here is a Discord server that is owned by a good friend of mine, and they have perfectly tagged and compiled sessions from each era of a whole bunch of artists. For example, right here I'm on the Playboy Cardi page. As you can see, they have every single one of Cardi's eras. They have Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, Uploaded, and right here they have even Trippie Redd, Young Thug. Even in the underground they have Che, Tana, Nine, Osama-san, Slayer even. I didn't even know Slayer had sessions, but apparently he does. They haven't. They even have Blood. So yeah, this is a good server. However, most servers and groups are not like this one. That is why I use trackers. Another place where I like to find my leaks are through specific influencers and YouTube channels. For example, if I want to find some songs on YouTube, I will go to this guy right here for Kanye Unreleased specifically. His channel is Unreleased. You probably know of him. He sorts the songs pretty much perfectly. And for other leaks or basic just notifications of leaks, I look at this profile called Jamal These Numbers. Although he doesn't leak them himself, he basically just notifies you when something is leaked. Like for example, he notified us of Destroy Lonely with Giselle's song. However, as you can see, the media just is gone, so you can't really download stuff from him. Although if you catch it in the early hours of each post, you can probably just download the Twitter video if for some reason the song that you're looking for is not in a tracker. For today, we'll focus on tracker sheets as I find them the most reliable. So let me show you how to find them and use them. Now, in order to find trackers, I use this interesting method. First of all, I go to this website. It's called artistgrid.cx, and they always have an updated spreadsheet of every single artist that you would probably think of. They even have Blood and Michael Jackson, unreleased sessions for Michael Jackson's case. Trackers, as we already said, are fan-made. However, they're with much better accuracy than most communities, so you can trust them. If you go to Artist Grid, for example, let's see, if we go to Yeet, Artist Grid offers a kind of concise view of trackers. However, I don't necessarily like to use that. What I do is I get this part right here of the link, and right here as you can see, docs.google.com/spreadsheets. Let's say you have a spreadsheet that you've opened before, right? Or you can just type in to this part right here. And after the D-slash, you go ahead and you paste what you got from Artist Grid right here. And then you click on enter. And it should lead you to the spreadsheet of the tracker, even if you cannot find it on Google or Reddit or whatever. So you basically get it on Artist Grid and you open it in Google Sheets as it's easier to manage here. Now what I like to do then, for this example, we're going to focus on 2093 by Yeet. I click Ctrl F and I type in 2093 and I try to find the arrow of each album. As you can see right here, the name of the arrow is listed. So I scroll down with the arrow till I find what I'm looking for. And boom, we have 2093. and we're going to download some 2093 songs. Right here, as you can see, we have the error, the name of the song. In brackets like this, we have the version, producers, alternate names or whatever. And right here, as I told you, we have the additional info, some release dates, the type of song, and right here, these are very important. You have the available length and quality, so you know what you need to look for and what's worth listening to. So as you can see right here, for example, the numbers, or trillion as some call it, it is an OG file, meaning this is the original song that Yeet created. It's not a copy paste file or whatever, and it is in CD quality, which is basically the best. If you find a link like this, you need to click on the cell with the link. Below site, you upload songs anonymously and it is usually safe. However, some other sites like Kraken files, that's about it. Some of those might not be safe, so you might want to check them on VirusTotal or something else. So right here, we're going to download this one. You're going to go to the Pillows page. You can listen to it right here. I'm not going to do that right now to save time. We're going to download it. And here we go to, I have a folder of my Unreleased. Then I go to Yeet specifically, and I don't have a folder for him, but I'm gonna make one. It's gonna call it 2093 sessions. Then right here, you can name your file whatever. I'm just gonna name it numbers. Now let's download some more songs. I usually like to name my songs how the album itself that is released has been named, with like the certain lowercase or uppercase typing. These right here are our 3 files. Now that we have our songs, we need to prepare them for listening on our desired streaming platform. For that, we need to edit the metadata of the files. Metadata is the information attached to each file that describes its content and origin. So let me show you how we can edit it properly. Okay, so to edit metadata, you should go to this website right here, mp3doc.de, and you're going to download this app that allows you to edit pretty much every single possible part of the metadata of the songs. You're going to go to download, and you're going to download and install the version that suits your computer. And I'm going to show you how to use the app. You're going to select your songs from the folder, you're going to drag and drop into mp3doc. And right here, you can edit it, pretty much everything that you want. In mp3doc, in order to see which of these options you want to edit, you can go to view, go columns, and you can select pretty much every single piece of metadata that you can add to your songs. And you can customize what you have in your editor. However, all of these that I have selected are pretty much all that work on the streaming platforms. The others just do not matter for whatever platform you're on. So first off, what I'm going to like to do is select all my files, and then we're going to edit whatever option is the same for all of them. For example, for this, we're going to type in Yeet as the artist. The album is going to be 2093 sessions. After that, we're going to go to the track. We don't have a track. We're going to label genre hip hop. It autofills it. For album artist, we're going to go Yeet. And for this number, we're gonna go 1, just to keep it cool. And then we hit Ctrl S and it saves it. Or you can just use the buttons up here. Now, we also need to select them again, and we need to find a cover art. Now, I do have one. However, what I like to do is I just type in Yeet 2093 art cover or whatever my artist and album are, and I just look for something over here, either Reddit or Instagram, and I pick whatever seems good. After you pick your cover, you're gonna go to add cover. Then right here it opens up my folder. I go down to Yeet covers, and then I pick whatever I like. So for example, I'm gonna pick this one. I'm gonna Ctrl S it to save, and now as you can see in the folder, all of my files have the cover art, which is very important, otherwise they're gonna look very ugly in the streaming platforms. After that, we gotta go add the specific things for each song. So you select your song, you type in the title, this one is All Day, you save it, and you can go back to the tracker to see which year it's from. For example, All Day is from 2023. And basically you repeat this for all the songs. Finally, our files are ready for upload, so let's see how that goes. We're going to start off with Apple Music and YouTube Music, as they're pretty much the same and are way easier than Spotify. Okay, let's start off with Apple Music. Now, when you're in your Apple Music app on Windows or macOS, you can go to the 3 dots, library, and add files or folders to library. However, what I like to do is I get in my file explorer, I select them all, drag and drop into Apple Music, and as you can see, it says copy when you're in your library section, and you paste, and boom, it's right added into the app. However, it is not ready yet, as you need to go to here and then click update cloud library to make sure it is on all of your devices that are connected to this profile. And right here, when this process is done, it should be available. However, if something for some reason does not appear on your phone or something, you can click update cloud library again if it is available to do that, and then you basically spam this until it is completely done here and all of your songs are available to listen to on all of your apps. Now, what this does basically is this uploads the songs to Apple's cloud servers, and they just connect that library to your profile. However, what you need to know is that this does not count to your listen time on Apple Music. So if you want to track your stats, these links will not count to that. Now for YouTube Music, it is basically the same. You go to library, and on library, as you can see, you have uploads right here. If we decide to just get the same songs on the website, and as you can see, it's going to upload to YouTube Music. And for this, you need to have premium on YouTube Music, otherwise it will not work. As you can see right here, it is done. I go to my library. After it processes, it should show up in here. As you can see, queue the songs, but the tutorial is going to upload soon. Again, this does not count your streaming minutes, and you will need YouTube Music Premium to be able to do this on YouTube Music specifically. Apple Music, of course, that's only paid. Oh, I forgot to mention that if you add these to playlists, you can add them to playlists with the songs already available on the platforms. However, when you share those playlists around to other people, they will not be able to see your extra added songs alongside what's available on the platform. For YouTube Music, of course, you can just look up videos on the platform itself. However, this way is way more organized, and I personally enjoy it way more. Now for Spotify, the method is much more difficult. First of all, you want to go to your settings, and you want to make sure to have show local files enabled and have wherever your music is stored in the show songs from section. You need to enable that on any device that you use Spotify on. Afterwards, on the computer that you're going to be uploading the songs from, you need to make a new playlist. For example, I used to call mine Vault and add a random cover to it. You do not want to make it private, you need to have it public, and you need to make sure whatever device you're going to be using to listen to the songs, as well as your computer, needs to be connected to the same Wi-Fi network. I don't know why it doesn't work otherwise, it just doesn't. So make sure to do that. After that, you want to go to your local files. Let's find all day from here. As you can see, it is very badly organized. You have some of these right here. If you change the metadata of files after you uploaded them, or you delete the new files, it's going to look very bad. This particular one does not. So you're going to go add to playlist, and you're going to add them to the Vault playlist that you just created. So after that, you're going to go back to the playlist, and you're going to make sure to download it. I don't have premium anymore, so I can't do that, but you need to make sure to download it on here first. And after you do that, and it is perfectly downloaded, after you're certain that it plays properly, you go ahead and download the playlist on your device. If all goes well, you should be able to download the songs from the computer onto the phone. However, the problem with that is, number one, this takes up storage on your other device that you're downloading the songs. So it is not like YouTube Music and Apple Music where it is just in the cloud and you stream it. This method downloads the files on your device, so it's going to take up storage. Also, they often mess up and completely ruin, and you can't play them for some reason. You have to pull them back in, or you just cannot put them in for some reason, because Spotify is a bitch ass platform and it's a terrible experience. So I would not suggest it. I would just suggest going to a different platform, Apple Music preferably, or YouTube is good as well. Just do not use Spotify. The reason why you can't use the method from the other platforms on Spotify is because Spotify are just a terrible company. I have still not implemented a cloud library for you to have your files in, but they do all of the tons of AI features that they have added to the platform. The next time you go ahead and defend them, keep in mind what they focus their money on. This is the method for Spotify. A lot of things can go wrong, so I can't really explain everything to you now. If you have any questions, again, describe them in the comments and I'll respond to them there. With all that said, this is all you need to know about uploading leaks to streaming services. As I said in the intro, I will make a video about non-paying users very soon, as these methods that we laid out today do not work for you all. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments and give as many details about your specific issue as possible. I will look through all of them and try to help you all out as much as I can. Make sure to like and subscribe with notifications on to never miss any of my YAP sessions. I love you all, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.